He turned 91 last week at a massive ceremony that cost several $1 million while his people starve. And they served, would you believe it, grilled elephant. He has killed in cold blood tens of thousands of his citizens. He's orchestrated the raping of women simply and solely because they supported the opposition party. He has committed crimes against humanity. He knows not the meaning of the words human rights, rule of law, democracy, ethics, morality. He has reduced his entire economy to a shambles. He's the worst homophobe on the planet. He corruptly stole through brutality and violence the last two elections. And now he's arranging to have his wife, she's 49, to become the successor to his presidency. I, of course, speak of Robert Mugabe, the president of Zimbabwe. But that's not all. He's chair of the African Union, which means that 53 of his fellow heads of state and heads of government confirmed him in that position. He's also chair of the Southern African Development Community, which means that 14 other heads of state and government confirmed him in that position. These African leaders, they know no shame, but they're only a part of it. 15 years ago, the United States, Australia, the European Union applied sanctions against Mugabe because of his behavior. The sanctions provided freezes on travel and freezes on assets. Now, suddenly, inexplicably, bewilderingly, the European Union has decided to raise a freeze on assets and a freeze on travel, and to give the government of Zimbabwe, which means give Mugabe, not the NGOs, $260 million. And at the ceremonial transfer of the money last week, the European Union ambassador to Zimbabwe said, and I quote, "In a true partnership among equals, a partnership among equals, we may sometimes diverge in opinion and vision, but these divergences can be overcome through real, frank, and open dialogue without taboos. It's like in a marriage," close quote. It's like in a marriage. What an incomparable jerk. It's as though we went to the leadership of Boko Haram and said, now that you've abducted more than 200 girls, now that you've slaughtered thousands of villagers, now that you've turfed 1 million people out of your homes, let's have a frank and open dialogue like in a marriage. Those are the kinds of things that give diplomacy and political leadership such a rotten name. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.